Alright everybody, welcome back to another video, welcome back to Crimson Desert, and in this video, where, let's just say I want to voice some opinions, I want to, you know what, let's just make this a very early review, alright? So you might notice my mug, I got a cute hat from some viewers, if I recall. I'm here at the Nexus, the Abyss Nexus, okay? I know a lot of people are struggling here, so I haven't gone past this point just yet. I might just make a video. So what I want to do in this one right now is kind of just complain about some stuff. Listen, I like the game. The thing is, it has issues, alright? I just realized the OBS is not capturing my in-game audio. Let me fix that real quick. Let me find the executable. There we go. Alright, this should hopefully fix the audio. There we go. So, problems. Let me start with the really good stuff. First of all, the world. Like, oh my god, this is huge. You can't see it right now because I'm in an area where it's kind of foggy, or the fog just kind of came in randomly, I think, actually. You can barely notice the world itself right now because of that, but the world is huge, and let's just say Bethesda is cooked. Todd, you better be willing to sweat, otherwise Elder Scrolls 6 is not making it. Oh, brother. Because this is exactly what players want to see from Elder Scrolls 6. Alright? Well, let's just say Bethesda's kinda cooked. They are unwilling to meet our expectations. That's it. There are issues with Crimson Desert as well, which I kinda want to talk about. But what I want to say is that I have a GTX 1650 laptop, and believe it or not, this runs on a GTX 1650 quite well, actually. Okay, I was playing on medium settings with let me try to remember. I was playing on medium settings, basically, okay? With FSR, and I need to check I think I had FSR balanced. Yes. FSR balanced on a laptop, on a GTX 1650, alright? Not only was it not overheating my laptop, but it was playing quite well. I had some issues. Said issues being that, let me find it real quick. So, this right here, okay? This system scan at raised IRQL caught improper driver load error was quite literally crashing my laptop. And I found the reason for it to a certain degree. Apparently, any sort of overlay messes with this game possibly. So if you have Discord overlay, Steam overlay even, you might wanna get in here and... Where's in-game? I might be blind. Disable Steam overlay, alright? Disable any sort of overlay you may have. Apparently including MSI Afterburner and Riva Tuner for some people. But I don't really think this is specifically caused by the overlays. Because when my game actually booted up, the overlays were a part of the problem, but when my game actually booted up on my laptop, for some reason, the in-game resolution was 4K. Also, the preset was cinematic. For some goddamn inexplicable reason, the game defaulted to basically max visuals, max graphics. I have some other issues I want to talk about first. I wanna address the big old elephant in the room. I am currently in the menus. when you first boot up the game and you get into the save and you're trying to figure out where settings are, you might notice there's nothing here saying main menu or something. Yeah, it's in others. In others and then options. Whoever invented this menu, I'm sorry dude, but like, bro, what are you doing? Why is this so unnecessarily complicated for literally no explicably good reason, bro? And then you go to settings to see your settings, and then if you want to quit the game, by the way, make sure you save. Okay. Speaking of which, I might as well save. Also, why is every single thing I want to do a freaking button hold? A press is enough. Button press is more than enough. Doesn't have to be a hold. If you want to quit the game, you gotta go to title screen, or Alt F4, or force close it through Steam, which makes absolutely no sense. There is no quit button here. There's no quit to desktop, quit to menu. There's just this title screen, which I'm gonna hit because I've never done. So I wanna kind of see what it actually. Why is this why is this a hold? Why? Like I have to go through 2 to 3 menus for no freaking reason just to hold a button to go to title screen. I am here, of course I want to go to title screen. Actually I don't, but I don't have a choice because this game has no freaking quit to menu or quit to desktop rather. Quit to menu is basically go to title screen and then B to exit. So I'm assuming that's the actual way to close the game, which is absolutely silly, okay? Absolutely silly. But again, this game is seemingly quite well optimized. Again, this is me playing on my laptop, okay, last night. And believe it or not, I was getting around 45-ish FPS, 30 at points, 56 even. Listen, it was playable and that's the main point. Now, let's talk about this loading screen. This is goddamn annoying, and why the hell do I have to go through this? What? This is the first time I see this. Random Korean letters too. Not fully translated, question mark? Anyway, why do I have to go through all of this just to get into my save? This is unnecessary. Or is this to mask the fact that we gotta load in the world? If that's the case, well, excuse me, but it's still very annoying. Now, this is the reason why I said Elder Scrolls 6 is absolutely cooked. Okay? There's a lot of bad when it comes to playing Crimson Desert for the first time, so you gotta get used to the bad and the hella jank. But there is a lot of good here too. But first, again, I want to talk about the bad. Because the bad needs to be addressed. Can we talk about the shadows, the lighting issues, the very, very much crushed black levels, the annoying flickering at times, the incorrect sun angles with sun lighting, the very arbitrary, extremely random dimming of the light at times, which makes absolutely no sense, by the way. Listen, I like this game, but Pearl Abyss, you did not do yourselves any sort of favors when it came to all of the issues your game has, okay? I made a review, okay? This review says a lot. Unfortunately, I couldn't edit it further because I wanted to. This is hella long. First of all, this game has Denuvo, okay? It has Denuvo anti-tamper on. It has data collection on by default, and you cannot turn it off. Not within the game's menu settings anyway, not officially. Apparently, you gotta send an email to Pearl Abyss to opt out of data collection, supposedly, is what I've heard. Anyway, camera angle. You would think... I'm gonna switch to mouse, okay? I'm switching to mouse, alright? You would think scrolling the wheel would give you, you know, more control, but no. Apparently every 3 or so, 2 to 3 scroll wheels of the mouse, wheel, you switch presets instead of having actual control of your camera, which is extremely annoying because I kind of dislike all of the angles the game has on the camera presets. So you would think the mouse would have actual zoom in, zoom out capabilities, but it does not. Again, the mouse is kind of being treated as the preset button. The mouse wheel is treated as the preset button, which is very annoying. Also, I'm noticing the fog or clouds or whatever. This is actively moving, by the way. Chalk this up to the good stuff. This is actively moving. It's actively moving around me, which is cool. It's very cool. Okay, this game has a gun. This game has a lot of good stuff, and this level of world is what we are expecting from games like the upcoming, potentially upcoming, because we still don't really know if it's gonna come or not, Elder Scrolls 6. Okay, this is exactly what kind of world we want. This exact level of openness. Now, let me talk again about the bad stuff in Black Desert, or Crimson Desert, excuse me. Can we actually acknowledge the fact that how do you go back to controls? I need to oh yeah. My settings reset, by the way. So this is day 2. This is the 21st, okay? Day 2 of Crimson Desert release, officially, and all of my settings were reset back to default when I when I booted up the game today. Not rebooted. When I booted up the game, I had to go through all of the menus and make sure all my settings are in fact correct. Everything, including screen mode, it defaulted back to full screen, which I don't know why. It also defaulted me to cinematic preset, which, believe it or not, works pretty much the same as the low preset. Instead, listen, we should actually talk about that, because I've seen not many people mention this, but the there's a lot of stuff to go through here. This is the lighting, by the way. Give it a second. I've had the lighting dim on me in this scene specifically. As you're probably seeing this, you might have noticed the lighting is not actually proper here. It's dimmed, that's why. It's dimmed, okay? This is how the lighting was supposed to look. This is me just turning the camera around, okay? But it looks like this behind the character, and then it looks like this in front of the character. Now, here is where you can actually see it. By the way, the sun is angled behind me, and this should be properly lit too. But for some reason, only this side is properly lit. You're also seeing some dimming of the light here. So whatever this is nonsense. This lighting needs to be fixed. It's really bad at times, okay? Here's me showcasing that the sun is there, and judging by the angle of the sun, which should be around here-ish, this should be properly lit fully, because it is. This house, or this part of the house, does not block lighting here at all. Why is this not fully lit? Same for here. There's nothing blocking the lighting here. Why is this not fully lit properly? What is going on with the lighting dimming? What is going on with the eye adaptation? This is how it should be looking, the game, everywhere. Shadows, specifically. Okay? There's a reason for that. Look at this. Okay? Why is this so goddamn black? Okay? This is how it should be looking. But this only happens when you go into the black. You know what I mean? This is how it looks when you go just a little bit further away. It immediately crushes the blacks, which is not really all that realistic considering all the lighting that's happening behind and in front and all around. Okay, look, like it's camera dependent from what I've seen. Okay, So depending on how far your camera is, it's getting automatically adjusted, which is absolutely cringe, and we need it fixed. This needs to not happen. Okay? It is incredibly black. What is this? Why is this so dark? Now, believe it or not, my main screen is actually making this even blacker than what you're seeing in the video, because my screen is very good with the blacks, but apparently it makes it even worse. Now look at this tent. Even this is way too dark. Okay? And then inside here, even though it's fully lit from the outside, and light should be going inside the tent to a certain degree, this is pitch black. This is absolutely pitch black. You cannot see jack inside there, which is not normal, and not really how lighting works. Okay? Then, can we talk about the controls? This is legit how I am holding my controller. Okay? Why do I have to claw grip my controller to play the game? Why do I have to claw grip to make the horse run or something? Also, can we talk about the multiple button presses to sprint? Why is that a thing? Just make it a toggle. I know it's a toggle, but I have to press like 3 times for the toggle to even register, which is absolutely absurd. This. Okay, we need to talk about this too. So let me try to find my screenshots real quick, because I have figured out what the actual differences are between low and high. And I will tell you within a couple of seconds. Alright, this is the low preset, alright? This is in the beginning scene you all were seeing when you started the game, okay? This is the beginning scene in the forest, in front of the cabin, okay? This is the low preset. And this is the high preset. Now tell me what you're seeing different here, okay? It basically looks the same. You cannot tell at first glance what the differences are. And I'll tell you right now. The differences are right here. It's in the level of foliage, in the foliage density, how much grass and stuff you got on the ground. And, whoops. It's a little bit in the lighting, a little bit in the shadows, okay? Still here, this area specifically, okay? A little bit in the lighting, a little bit in the shadows, and then there's the parallax, okay? There's basically no other difference. This is not a low preset, okay? This is not a low preset. The low preset should look much worse. This is like a medium to high preset. Okay, this is how this looks. The low preset is... Listen, the game is properly optimized, but can we talk about the low preset being basically a medium to high? The only differences are in the foliage density, the stuff you see on the ground, and the grass, and then just some parallax. Look here, okay? That's basically it, and then a little bit of lighting and a little bit of shadowing. Just very, very little, okay? And there's barely anything else that is noticeable. Couple of stuff floating through the air here and there, maybe. That were removed. Or reduced, rather. So that's basically it. Okay? Which is kind of bad. You would expect the low preset to be on the lower end. This is pretty high. Let's just say this game could run better. Okay, it's good, it's very good, very well optimized compared to the current industry standards, but it's not as well optimized as you may think. This could be running better. They just chose not to make it run better. They chose it to make it look prettier, which I don't mind because I have a higher end PC than most people, I guess, considering the RTX 4070. However, this could have been better, okay? Is what I'm saying. So we should be making it better, is what I'm saying. If it can be better. But again, game's amazing in a lot of other areas. Like the world, the fact that it's even loading the entirety of it. Yes, there are cutscenes masked as loading screens. Okay, in a lot of spaces. Also, can we talk about the LOD in the background right there? Right here. Can we talk about the level of detail on this? Why is this looking so bad? I'm playing on an SSD, by the way. It's a decently fast one. It's a Kingston A something, I forgot. Kingston A400. It's a pretty fast SSD. It's like 3 gigabytes read-write or something. Why is that loading in so poorly? Like why? I just realized it too. Thanks for the camera preset, guys. He's the reason I found that out right now. I did not notice it at first, but because I was not looking at that specifically. But now that I'm looking at it, why is that so ugly? Like, what the hell? Ah, god, that is annoying and distracting too. Alright. Again, the game itself is good. I know there's a lot of bad, but the game itself is good. Now, here's another thing to complain about. The initial scene where the game just drops you into combat and expects you to deal with it. Like, mother yucker, we don't know the buttons yet. You expect me to read the buttons prior to playing the game? You're supposed to teach me the game in the beginning area. That means including the buttons. That's how a tutorial works. Anyway. There are so many bad things. The controls are absolutely atrocious. Let me go to the guides. Okay, can we talk about the controls? Can we talk about the... I'm gonna switch the controller. Can we talk about why is... Let's see now. Why is A to run and double 8 sprint, for example? Why couldn't we have just moved, ran, and sprinted via the use of the left stick, as it's normal, by the way? Why is Y a punch and Y hold a kick? The kick is rather annoying to get too. Why is X jump instead of A being the jump button? Why is the camera preset that button, the change camera? Why can't we change camera via the use of left bumper press plus right stick press and then movements of the right stick to zoom in and out? Like, there are so many questionable decisions in the controller here. Specifically, in the controls of the controller, okay? Then why is lock on the most questionable button of them all, which I can't even showcase without... It's down here, okay? It's D-pad down. Why is lock on D-pad down? Actually, I think I have a screenshot of this, so it's easier for me to actually show you. Why is lock on D-pad down? Where is my screenshot? Okay. Why is lock on D-pad down? What is this nonsense? Who came up with this? You need to get fired, dude. You actually need to get fired, especially since you did not give us any sort of options when it came to modifying the controls, the keybinds. We cannot modify the keybinds on a controller. I don't know if you can on the mouse and keyboard, because I didn't check. But why is that a thing? Why is it not right stick press? Because that makes more sense. Why is right stick press a force palm? Why is force palm not on Y, for example? So many questionable decisions in this thing alone. The control scheme is absolutely atrocious. This has got to be one of the most annoying and bad hotkey layouts I've ever seen in gaming since I've started gaming in 1998 or something. Yes, I have more than 20 years of gaming. Why is this the worst? It's literally the worst I've ever seen, actually. Which says a lot, considering the amount of games I've played over the years. I mean, you've seen, I have 29 games installed right now. Look at this. 29 games installed right now, and this is Steam alone. I'm playing a lot of stuff. I have not finished a lot of stuff currently, but I am playing a lot of stuff. Okay? Not the point. Point is, this control scheme is atrocious. And a lot of people are complaining about it, and for good reasons. This is extremely bad. It's hard to get used to because no other games has such a complicated control scheme, okay? The hotkey layout makes absolutely no sense. It's bonkers how bad this is. And I know a lot of people will defend this because the game overall is good, but this needs to be said. This is extremely bad. Please fix. Like, at least give us the option to set our own keybinds for controller. This is atrocious. Or at least give us multiple control presets like other games are doing, okay? Give us alternates to the default. This default is trash. Absolutely garbage. I'm sorry. It is. Somebody needs to say it. This is absolutely garbage. And this is the controller scheme alone, okay? I absolutely hate the mouse and keyboard hotkey layout as well. Is what I'm saying. Like this, as a PC gamer, none of this makes sense to me. As a console game enjoyer, the control scheme for the controller is absolutely atrocious to me. I literally cannot get used to it, and it's holding the game back because I'm not used to these controls. They make no sense. There are other games which you could have mimicked the control scheme from. Like, for example, I don't know, Horizon Zero Dawn or something. I don't know. Listen, I don't know the control scheme for Black Desert, but I know I recall it not being this atrocious. That's it. I have not played that with a controller, so I don't know if that's the thing. Alright, I know there's a lot of complaining in this, but the problem is, listen, this game's done... Pearl Abyss, you have done yourselves no favors when it comes to how bad the game's first impressions are, okay? The first 5 hours of me playing the game were filled with, why is this that? Why is this here? What the hell is this? Why is this doing that? Why is this not here? Why is the menu so bad? Why is the main menu in others and then options? Why can't I move it right now? A lot of stuff like this, okay? Why can't I move the menu now? Why can't I move the menu now? Why am I unable to... Hello? Like, what is this? I can't. It's literally refusing to let me move the menus at times. So, Pearl Abyss, can you address all the issues, please? You've had 2 patches already, which is wild to me. You've had 2 patches already, and the game's still this broken, kinda. It's a good game, but it has a lot of issues. It's very, very janky. Then we need to address the fact that Cliff himself moves kind of weird. The movement in this game is extremely slow. Okay, now I've looked up, and I know for a fact a leather jacket, leather armor from the medieval era is around 10 pounds. Okay, 10 to 30 pounds from what I've seen. Now, I don't think... By the looks of this, I don't believe this is 10 pounds. I'm just going by how it looks, okay? It looks like normal piece of clothing, which is obviously not 10 pounds, but let's just say it's 10 pounds. That's around, I don't know, for you European fellas. I'm European too, I believe this is around maybe 6-7 kilos or something. 10 pounds, I don't know. I don't know my actual conversion right now. But it's, I want to say like 5, maybe 6 kilos. Okay? Listen, when you run, what is this running? Like, it feels low, sluggish even. It feels like you're heavier than you should be. I don't think the shield is that heavy. I know for a fact the bow is not, and I know for a fact swords are not that heavy. The sword is like 2.5 pounds, okay? Like, it's a short sword too, okay? That's not a long sword. That's a short sword, and even long swords are not that heavy, okay? A long sword is like 10 pounds at most, okay? They're usually not even that heavy. And the running feels bad. And then you have to double just to sprint, okay? Also, can we talk about swimming? I died to swimming. A guy. I'm a dude in his 30s that can't swim well. I haven't died to swimming in a pool yet. Why am I dying to swimming in a game? What, like my stamina drained so fast, it's incredible. It's like this dude just hardcore panicked in a little bit of water and then just flat out died. Why is stamina being drained so fast while swimming? It makes no sense. Okay, I know this is the beginning of the game, but Cliff is like a dude in his 30s, okay? Like, you'd expect him to have some lungs, considering he's wearing armor, shield, whatever, and running around. Also, can we talk about the story? The beginning of the story makes absolutely no sense to me. It's not... Let's just say it's not good, alright? But then again, combat itself is good. This feels good. It's slow. Unless you go to the heavy. It's slow. But switching to the punch combat feels bad. Now I want to go into first person and check. Can I go first person combat? Is that a thing? It's not letting me go to first person. Well, there is first person in this game. But it's not letting me go to first person. The bow feels good. I think this is the actual thing that feels good in the game. Sometimes you have to press LB, and if you have the lantern, you're gonna pull the lantern out every single time. Because for some reason the lantern is always necessary. Let me turn it off, which again is annoying to turn off. Because you need multiple button presses just to turn it off. So many questionable decisions. The game makes for a really bad first impression, and I completely... Listen, I completely understand why so many reviews are negative. I went into this game open-minded, and after the first 5 initial hours, I was completely negative about the game. The game does not do itself any sort of favors. Okay? The first 5 to 10 hours of the game are a complete slogfest. And it's a slogfest with a lot of jank. Specifically because the hotkey layout is utter garbage. And then there are intentional slowdowns when you are talking to NPCs. I have a screenshot of the specific NPC that I have in mind right here. Let me find it real quick. Okay, the beginning area, when you follow this man. Why, oh why, are we forced into walking? Why is the NPC not coded to follow the player? Why is the player coded to follow the NPC? Why? That makes no sense to me. So listen, I know you're trying to make this immersive, but it is intentionally making it a slog. And this is why a lot of people hate your game. Let's just say it's not for everybody. I don't mind being slowed down every now and then, but when you're intentionally slowing down the gameplay just to hold me into the game more for no good explicable reason other than your poor excuse for immersion, which is in fact not immersive me as much as you would think, considering I'm not allowed to run when I want to run, alright? I'm sorry, I was getting a little emotional. I was trying to move on to actual gameplay, but my dude was coded, hard-coded, to follow the NPC at a snail pace, alright? Listen, the way you do these, so it actually makes sense, is you make the NPC, you code the NPC, so the NPC follows the player speed instead, alright? There's no reason for us to slow down the game so much. Literally no good explicable reason. Immersion is not a good reason for that. It would be more immersive if the player had more freedom of choice. Like running faster. Why am I forced into walking? Anyway, the game overall is good, but it has a lot of problems, okay? This is my early review of the game after approximately 10 hours, I want to say. Let me actually check, okay? Okay, 8.6 hours. This is my early review of the game. It has a lot of bad. It in fact has a lot of bad, which a lot of people are not recognizing as this being bad, alright? It is incredibly bad at times. It could be good. It could be better, though. It is good, but again, it could be better. That thing has still not loaded in properly its level of detail. That right there in the background, whatever that sort of island is. It has yet to actually load in the level of detail properly. And I'm unsure why. I'm still waiting for it to load. It's been half an hour since I've started this video. It has not loaded in. Alright, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. People said that there's no hand-holding in this game. I disagree. I also have screenshots of this happening early game. Very early into the game. Tell me what you're seeing here. Tell me this is not reminiscent of yellow paint. You're seeing there's no hand-holding, okay? This is the initial scenes of the game when you start. You're telling me this is not hand-holding? Like, it's literally telling you where to go. Listen, the path is literally lit. It's telling you where to go in certain scenarios, okay? In a lot of them, actually. Even here, when you begin at the Nexus and you walk on top of the bridge, okay? Right there. The path is literally there for you to walk on. Where is there no hand-holding? There is a lot of hand-holding in the game, in fact. This might go down during later phases of the game, or maybe starting from now on. But in initial phases, there is a lot of hand-holding and teaching you... Wow, the pop-in is bad. What the f... Okay. That's the first time I noticed it, too. There is a lot of hand-holding. Alright? Alright. Now, I'm gonna move on with this and just say I hope you guys enjoyed my rant. This was my initial review and thoughts of the game. Actually, I have a little more. Let's talk about some settings. I just remembered something. So, this menu is missing a lot of settings, alright? It's missing lens flare, it's missing chromatic aberration, it's missing bloom, it's missing... Well, for starters, it's missing the blur and the depth of field, which you find in accessibility for some reason. And then this here is missing also some stuff. What the video settings tab here is missing is as follows. There's no saturation slider. So you have contrast, you have brightness adjustments, but there is no saturation slider. Speaking of brightness adjustments, I am maxed out and the shadows are still incredibly black at times, okay? Again, due to eye adaptation and lighting issues and shadows being extremely black issues and whatnot. And then there is also missing... Let's see. There's missing the game's missing saturation filter. The game's missing a... Well, for example, a shadow blackness level slider would be ideal in this game. And then there's no sharpness filter here. Alright? Okay, that's pretty much all I've got to say. I hope you guys enjoyed this rant. I really do wish Pearl Abyss fixes all of this. I hope y'all address all of these issues, because my god does this game have a lot of issues which could have been avoided at launch day. This game, even though it's pretty well optimized, it feels like it was rushed. It could have been better. Let's just say it could have been a lot better, okay? Y'all did not do yourselves any favors with this release of the game. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this rant. This was my early review, my first impressions of the game. My first impressions of the first initial 5 to 8 hours of the game, that is. I'll see you in the next one. It's not all bad, though. It's not all bad, okay? The game's actually good. That's the main thing. Even though it has a lot of jank and a lot of issues, the game's actually good. But the first impressions, my god, they're bad.